Hello and welcome back to the iFox with Juice podcast. Happy 4th of July. We're recording this 4th of July morning, so fair warning, if you hear any loud bangings in the background, it's probably fireworks. I'll do my best to edit it out, but can't guarantee anything. But without further ado, I want to introduce my co-host, the 6.4 earthquake to my Southern California, Rain. What's on, Rain?
Are you sure it's fireworks? Because you are in LA.
Yeah, there was a... By the time you guys hear this, it'll probably be Friday, so it may not be very relevant. But there was a bit of a shakeup down here in Southern California, here in LA. There was a 6.4 earthquake, a little bit northeast of here, and we felt it down here. Oh, so that's another thing. If you randomly hear like some things falling and shit, it's probably my house collapsing. So this may be the last time you guys hear from me, but it'll be a good show.
Stupid. Oh, it's so crazy. 6.4, man. Scary. Dude, my son and I just learned, he just learned about earthquakes. He's 6 years old. We were in San Francisco. We went to the Randall Museum, and they had this like Lego display. It like simulates earthquakes and whatnot. And he was talking about it yesterday. He's like, I don't want to get caught up in an earthquake. That's all bad news. And next thing you know, I'm like looking at Twitter. Holy shit, California had an earthquake. What the fuck?
You guys went yesterday?
We went Tuesday.
Oh.
But on our walk yesterday, we're walking the dog yesterday morning, and he started mentioning it like, oh, that's bad news. I don't want to get caught in an earthquake.
It's stuck in his mind.
Yeah, it was totally stuck. He's like, we got to get out of San Francisco. Like on the way home. He's like, let's get out of San Francisco, Mama. Let's go home. And then
shit, man. Yeah, he has a point. I actually saw some like videos a few days ago about like talking about some of the worst natural disasters in the country, like in the history of the country, and then what would happen if like the big earthquake hit California, the one that everyone talks about. But I learned that like 1902 or something, I knew that there was a big fire in San Francisco. I didn't know it was because of an earthquake. Like the earthquake itself basically ruined the city, and then whatever was left got burned down. Like hundreds, if not thousands of people died. And it basically San Francisco now is basically a new city because the old city got torn the fuck up. Yeah, I didn't know that. Like I've been in San Francisco, but now knowing that, I'm like shit. Next time I go, like shit, because that's all I keep thinking when I see it. I'm like, if the shit goes down, people in San Francisco are fucked.
Yeah, it was crazy because I was explaining to him, the last big one we had, I was a kid. I was like, Mama was a kid, baby. It's okay.
Have you experienced one, like, live?
No, but that big San Francisco earthquake that happened back in 1989.
80-something, yeah.
Yeah.
My brother, he said that he felt some shaking here in LA from that San Francisco earthquake in the 80s.
Yeah, it was crazy because I was outdoors playing basketball. And there's a pool next to the basketball court. Next thing you know, I'm like, I'm checking out the pool. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's like all wavy and shit. Like, it's moving. Yeah, come to find out it was an earthquake from San Francisco.
Oh.
We felt it up here.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, if we felt it in LA, I'm sure you felt something, yeah.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. But yeah.
How about Okinawa? I know Japan has a lot of earthquakes, but I don't know about Okinawa.
No, I never felt one.
Oh damn! You're lucky. I was a kid. I was like 4 years old when a big earthquake hit here in the valley in Southern California. That shit was bad. I have very, very, very faint memories of it. I just know it was terrifying. So yeah, it was weird. Like I was in the living room and I felt a little motion. I'm with my lady, so I was like, oh, maybe she's rocking the chair back and forth and she's dead. She's not moving at all. And I look around. I'm like, shit's moving. I stood up and I'm like, all right, like trying to get all my family together. Like, where are they? And I basically looked out the front door. I'm like, are other people freaking out? And then it stopped, and then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, it was an earthquake, but it looks to be over. But
oh my God, that's so freaky.
But luckily nothing fell, nothing broke. I mean, they said that there could be aftershocks, but I don't think it'll reach down here, at least not enough to where we're really going to feel it that much. So But anyway, that's our that's our 4th of July update as of right now. We're gonna get into fight stuff. We're gonna review the event from last week, preview UFC 239, and talk about news and matchups as we always do. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start with our rewind. And we're reviewing UFC Minneapolis, the ESPN event that took place last week. There was a few fights I missed, nothing from what we'd covered. There's, I think, 2 or 3 fights I need to catch up on, but I've been kind of busy the past few days. But we covered basically the last 4 fights on the card. Roosevelt Roberts versus Vince Pichel and Damian Maia versus Rocco Martin. I don't know what to cover here, really, aside from, I guess it's expected. I know I picked Roberts. I think you did too, Reen.
Yeah.
And then I know you picked Maia.
Yep.
I picked Maia as well. So we were wrong on one of them and right on one of them. But the same thing what we said about the Damian Maia fight can be applied with the Vince Pichel fight. Vince Pichel's a veteran and just outwitted and out grappled Roberts, and that's basically what happened in the Rocco Martin fight. The only difference is that Rocco Martin came alive in the 3rd round, whereas Roberts was basically dead in the 3rd round. But it's that veteran beating prospect type match. It happens to almost every prospect. You look at some of the best fighters in the world, 6, 7, 8 fights deep in their career, they have some kind of loss, and it was usually a submission loss to like a dude in his mid-30s who has seen quite a few, has been in quite a few fights and managed to figure them out. But that's basically what happened in those fights.
Did Kayla Harrison get more coverage than Rocco?
You know what? I gotta imagine she was there, but I didn't see her.
You didn't see it? Where there was a small clip. It was floating around Twitter. She was
really?
like, let's go,
Rocco! I'm sure I heard her, but no, I think I missed that.
It was horrible, man. Just the way she sounded. I was like, excuse me, ma'am, didn't you like change his name to Anthony? I call him Rocco.
Oh, man. Well, I don't think she changed his name. I think she changed his professional name. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Either way, just let homie be, man. Tony Martin would have beat the shit out of Damian Maia. I don't know about this Rocco Martin fella, but yeah, that's basically all to cover there. It was a prospect loss for Roberts, especially for Roberts because he was undefeated. I think he needed this. Pichel is not nobody to hang your head about. Yeah, he probably should have beat him, but it wasn't that expected. It's good he took this loss. As for Martin too, he'll get there. He's fighting for like top 15 contendership, but Maia's still got it. I think that's going to be his job for at least the next year, maybe longer if he chooses to go longer. Just beat down the young veterans because I don't think he's coming back as a contender anytime soon. But that was those fights. Co-main event: Joseph Benavidez and Jussier Formiga. I mentioned on Twitter one thing is it was a really good fight, but I think I kept getting distracted because Joseph Benavidez had that Asian dictator haircut. I don't know what was going on with him. He looked like Kim Jong-un and shit. But man, his performance was good though, man. I expected it to look very different from the first fight, and it did in the fact that it went. I believe it was the end of the 2nd round. Formiga was competitive, but yeah, Benavidez still had his number. The striking was too much, and he ended up dropping him with that head kick and TKOing him. It was a brilliant performance from him. Every time I keep counting him out, he keeps coming back.
It seems like he's getting better and better each fight, man.
Okay, I'll push back on that a little bit. I actually think that Benavidez has been losing a step. The thing is, he was so good already. Him losing a step or two is still way ahead of most fighters.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I get where you're coming from. You think I think he's reinventing himself because he has to. Mm-hmm. But it's just amazing at his age and with his experience that he's still able to do it. Especially with a guy like Formiga, who I thought looked unstoppable. Like I thought he was going to give him a lot more problems, and he took care of him. Not as easy as he did in the first fight, but he still treated him with like no respect.
Yeah. Well, it's a big win, but now he has to sit there and wait again.
I mean, we mentioned already, right, about the possibility of an interim fight. I mean, we said
Yeah,
even this fight could be an interim fight.
yeah.
Now that he's assuredly the number one guy, I mean, I saw a thing. I don't know if he tweeted it out or it was a report by someone else that said that I think the surgery went well, and they said that it's possible that Henry can come back even like in November, which
Word, that's cool.
would be awesome. That is it's a really good time frame. That's 4 months from now, and I'm sure Benavidez could use a little rest and then get a 8 week, 12 week camp depending on what he feels like, and he'll be ready to go. I know in November they have the MSG card. I don't know if that'll be maybe a co-main event or if it's gonna be one of those ESPN Plus cards. Who knows? Hopefully, hope for the best. I know you don't want to, Reen, but you should probably hope for the best for Cejudo. Hope that he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, to get that work again. I mean, because the last
Yeah,
fight, I mean, Benavidez won by split, so hopefully, he can finish him this time because they met before.
I still think
And
Cejudo won.
really?
I do. Yeah, I haven't seen that fight basically since it happened, but I remember when it happened, I was like, I thought it was a robbery. I'm like, this is easily Cejudo's fight.
Oh my
But
god.
I need to watch it again to make sure.
Okay.
But I remember when I watched it, I was like, this is easily Cejudo. So
Because I didn't think he did much in the first round. And then, yeah, I thought Benavidez took over the last two.
oh, okay.
So I
Yeah,
have to watch it again. But I mean, if he can come back by November, that'd be cool. If not, then maybe just close out the year, just do like the end of the year fight.
it'll be good it'll be very impressive from Cejudo too, because if he does come back in time, he would have fought 3 times. He'd have beat Dillashaw, he defended his belt there, beat Moraes for the other belt, and then especially if he beats Benavidez, then he defended his flyweight belt twice and won the bantamweight belt. So yeah, that'd be interesting. But saying
Yeah.
that, I could also see Cejudo saying, "Well, I already defended the flyweight belt. Let me defend the bantamweight belt." And obviously, we still got Jan, Aljamain. We still got contenders down there. So either way, someone's gonna get fucked. But
Uh,
yeah, I know it sucks. But honestly, I think I'd rather see a bantamweight belt at 135 anyway, because it's happened before, and I think we're kind of used to that. Whereas if we see a bantamweight bout at 125, no one's gonna care. People might even be saying now we really do need to get rid of the division, because if these nobody guys are fighting for a flyweight belt in a division that nobody sees, then what the fuck's the point?
right.
People can get real cynical. So yeah, I think it's just better that Cejudo bites the bullet and fights Benavidez again, even though it may not be the best for his pockets, because you have to think that he's the top draw in the UFC or some shit.
Yeah, true that. So we'll see if they even have a flyweight division in the next couple months.
Well, as you said, July, in the next couple of weeks, we might
Yeah.
see something else. But moving on from that, the main event was Ngannou versus JDS. Francis Ngannou knocked out Junior Dos Santos in less than 90 seconds. And it just proved what I've said last week. We don't know shit. We still don't know shit about Francis Ngannou. Honestly, I don't even think this told us a lot about JDS. I think Dos Santos fought. Honestly, I think he was a little bit scared, or cautious, whatever you want to say. I think he had reason to be. I mean, obviously he got knocked out, and we all know how hard Ngannou hits. But I don't think it was the best Dos Santos. Not taking anything away from Ngannou, but we're back to square one. We don't know shit about the guy.
No, we don't. Like, I watched that over and over again. JDS just overcommitted on that overhand and then lost his balance. And yeah, he made a huge mistake. He got fucking jacked up.
It was what's weird is that was a quote unquote stupid mistake. I don't. It's easy to see that was an error. The thing is, though, when you're fighting Ngannou, I don't blame him. It's one thing, especially if you're nervous, if you're a little bit fighting kind of cautiously. It would make sense. If you're fighting cautiously, you shouldn't throw something like that. But if you're nervous and scared, you would, especially because although JDS hits hard, he doesn't hit anywhere near as hard as Ngannou. So he knows if I'm gonna hit this guy enough to scare him, I gotta fucking throw my whole weight into this. I gotta put my life into this shot, and he did, and he missed, and he paid for it, But I was just shrieking and awing the minute before that, because they both got some good licks on each other, leg kicks, even punches to like the body and the shoulder, and you just heard like there were like fucking bombs going off, man. Like they were hitting fucking hard. It was really tense for as long as it lasted. But yeah, JDS got caught up. He got in his own head. He got real scared, and he fought like it, and he paid the price.
Crazy, man. I wonder. Oh my god. And then yeah, Francis asked for the fight, whoever the winner is of Stipe and DC, and wow, I just wonder how he's going to perform against either or. We've already seen the Stipe fight, so I wonder if DC does capture his belt again, he defends it. How would he do against Francis? That's gonna be crazy, man. And an older DC that's had surgery, that doesn't have a lot of power. I mean, not as much as Francis, but
Yeah, I'm
oh,
expecting DC to beat Stipe again. I'm not saying that with any kind of confidence, but I do think it'll happen. But if it does happen, and he's saying that it might be his last fight, if he has another one, I'm not gonna be mad if he retires after the Stipe fight. But if he does have another one, and it is Ngannou, if he wins, shit, all the more power to him. What a legend. And if he doesn't, if he gets brutally knocked out by Ngannou, it'll be very sad, obviously. But I'll be kind of happy because it's like, hey, you're handing the torch off to the young guy. Well, the younger guy, the promising guy. It might be a scary ass sight if he does knock him out as bad as we know Ngannou can hit. But I love those things in combat sports, man. I've always said one of my favorite moments in combat sports has been De La Hoya losing to Manny Pacquiao, because that was the moment that Manny Pacquiao came out to the world. I knew about Manny Pacquiao. Most Mexicans knew about Manny Pacquiao because he was killing all our guys. But he fights De La Hoya, who was like a household name, and you see him quit against this guy. You're like, oh shit, who's this guy? And immediately became an overnight star. So I love seeing it with shit like this. The reason I love the Nate Diaz Conor McGregor fight so much, because you saw that happen with Nate as well, kind of with Khabib as well. And this would be to a lesser extent, but if Ngannou could knock out DC, he would definitely become a star if he's not one already.
right. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. Crazy.
I mean, at this point, that's the other thing is that at this point you can't deny it. We can't say Ngannou needs to fight someone else or that he needs to wait. I mean, his only option is to wait because he's done everything. He's beat everybody.
Fuck wrestling, I guess, right? It's been working. Whatever the bombs he's throwing, it's working. That's all the tools he needs.
I think whether it's Stipe or DC, I think it behooves him in his next fight. Just go all out, man. Even if you lose, just fucking go out winging. Because if you try to play it safe, you kind of try to play it safe a little bit with Stipe. I know, you got yourself out and stuff, but it's like just go all for it, man. You got to catch him unexpectedly. And I don't think that if you come out with like a fucking crazy kick or something in the first 10 seconds, you might catch him off guard. You never know. That might be your best bet. That way you can avoid the wrestling.
Right?
Hmm.
So yeah, he can go back to the drawing board again. Go back to the UFC center, and then work on his wrestling some more. Like shit, good for that guy. No damage, nothing. Barely broke a sweat.
Oh,
Again,
he did take some. He did get dropped by a leg kick. I'm sure his leg hurt the day after, but put some ice on it. He's fine.
yeah. Crazy, man. Fucking scary.
Yeah, yeah. That's for another day. Let's talk about. Let's go into our preview. UFC 239 is this weekend, and we're gonna preview that right now. And we're gonna start with we're basically just doing the main card. So let's start from the bottom up. Diego Sanchez is fighting Michael Chiesa in a welterweight fight. Interesting fight. This is a step back for Chiesa. He just took out Condit. I guess it's like, well, he can be. This is like his taking out legend segment of his career, but Chiesa is highly favored here. It's easy to see why. Sanchez has looked pretty good for his age, for the amount of damage he's taken, for the miles on him. But I don't know. I think it's a tough ask to see him beat Chiesa.
I think so too, and especially with him switching camps all of a sudden as well.
Who is he with now?
I forget who it was, but I mean somebody posted something. There was an article out about him
Is he in
leaving
Vegas?
Jackson's. Huh?
Is he in Vegas? Why do I feel? Because I know he left Jackson's back in the day and he came to San Diego, but I don't think he came back.
I don't know. I can try to look it up right now, but yeah, he left in the middle of his camp.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot he announced that only a few weeks ago. Yeah, this was like after the fight had been announced. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
And and I remember someone mentioning like it's weird that this would happen. I didn't find it so weird because, like I said, he'd left before, but it was weird because when you think back about it, was it Cowboy that left last year? Remember, Diego was like the one sticking up for Jackson. Like you disgraceful motherfucker. Like these guys did everything for you. Remember, he wanted to fight him because he was so mad at him.
yeah, so that was weird to me that he talked so much shit about Cowboy, and then here he goes. Yeah, it's pretty much the same shit that he went through.
Maybe he just saw the light. I mean, I I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't have. I didn't really look up tweet of the week this week, and I don't know if it happened this week, but I want to say it was Schwan Humes on Twitter at Black Jordan Breen. He had tweeted something that Jackson Winklejohn can only do well with their pupils if they already have like a natural gift. If they're already very athletic, very fast, very strong, very well disciplined in jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, and something that they can work with. If you get like a kid off the street, some 18-year-old who hasn't ever fought in his life, when you bring them up like that, they haven't shown much success.
I kind of agree with that.
And I don't think that was always the case. I mean, from what I know with Carlos Condit, I think he started his career with him, and obviously he was very good at one point. I think he's even really good now. It's just the game has passed him by. But it seems like as of now, maybe they just don't want to put in the effort. Like they're those, hey, if you got some promise, you got something to show me, we'll work with you. Other than that, we don't got time to be training you and all this.
And they all got money too, the ones with talent.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to point that out.
Obviously, we're going to talk about the Coleman in a second, but I will say, because this doesn't have much to do with the fight, but is it just me or is it just like the weirdest sight to behold seeing Holly Holm and John Jones so close?
Yeah, it's weird.
Right, because like they can't be more polar opposites in like almost literally every way, from how they look to how they carry themselves.
Exactly, it's so odd to me.
And the thing is, like, I genuinely believe, and I know you have your problems with Irene, but I genuinely believe in my heart that Holly Holm is a very, very nice person, a very kind person. I don't think she has any malice in her heart. And I even say this as I've always said that she's kind of a bitch inside the ring because like you see like when she knocked out Ronda, like those hammer fists on the floor, those probably weren't necessary, but she fucking went for it. And then like Betch Correia, that fucking my grandmama gave me that chain type punch that she hit her with after she dropped her. She's a mean bitch inside the ring, I think. But as far as like her personality, there's nothing about her that strikes me as like cocky, mean. I don't think she'd be like an asshole in any kind of way. But then she's hanging out with John, and they're like fucking, sharing snacks and taking selfies together and dancing and shit. And I'm like, this makes no sense. This guy's fucking doing coke and cheating on his wife and doing all this crazy shit. Like, I don't know. I don't see in any world how you two could even hang out, even talk to one another.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get it. But yeah, maybe that one thing in common is money and what they bring to that camp.
They're like elitists. They're like,
Yeah.
like in Washington D.C., you see Republicans and Democrats talking to one another because it's like, well, they're all rich white assholes.
Yeah, pretty much. So, because I don't get it. Like, that's the type of person you want to stay away from, right? Because
Yeah,
she's a preacher's daughter. Like, the fuck?
I look at Holly Holm, and I'm not one of those people that looks at athletes as role models or stuff. But if I had a kid and especially a daughter, I'd look at Holly Holm like, you want a role model, be like that girl. Look at her, she's clean cut. I've never even heard her cuss. She's so hardworking. Look at her accomplishments at boxing and MMA and this and that. And if I had a son, I'd be like, son, I know you may like watching John Jones fight, but don't listen to anything he says and never follow anything he does because that guy's a piece of shit, man.
Exactly.
It was so weird. That's so weird. But anyway, moving on. So we both got Chiesa in that one. Next fight, Jan Blankovic versus Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold's debut at 205. Have you seen any of the embedded training?
No, I tried to this morning before we got on the
It's
air, but
it's weird because I don't know if it was the last one or the second to last one. Rockhold came on for like a second, and
uh-huh.
I saw him. They get to the arena, they do like those pre-weigh-in things, like to making sure that their weight's on point and all that type of stuff. And he went on. He had just like a white T-shirt on. He's just like in regular clothes. He went on, and I looked at him like, "Damn, Luke, you're looking kind of chunky." And I immediately took it back. I'm like, "Wait a minute, he just looks like a normal dude. Like he looks healthy." And that's when I realized, like, damn, Luke Rocco is such a big motherfucker, and I mean, he does look good. He looks good at the weight. I don't know how much weight he has to lose right now, or if he's already on there. But yeah, I mean, he definitely does not look like he looks at middleweight. Uh,
Yeah, I noticed he was talking to somebody, I forgot, but he had like this white hoodie on, and I'm like, wow, his face is kind of chubby.
Right, but it's not. He just looks healthy. That's when you realize like how much weight he was actually cutting.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, it's been like a year, over a year since he's last fought,
His
and
last fight
then
was Romero, wasn't it?
yeah, it was in February last year, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he was supposed to fight Weidman on the New York card in November. So
Yeah,
oh shit, you're right. Damn.
yeah, Yoel killed him. It took a while for him to come back.
Well, if you look back at it, all right, since he lost the belt, so he fought Bisping, and remember he didn't fight for a long time. He fought Branch like a year later, like 15 months later,
Yeah,
and then
he
he
looked good
fought.
then.
Yeah, and then he fought Romero a few months after that, and then he hasn't fought.
Mhm.
So in the past 3 years, he's had like two or three fights. That's not a lot.
It's been rough for him, so I wonder how he's gonna do. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have to cut that much weight, but he hasn't been fighting. So
Um,
I picked Yan for this one because
I want to go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, like he lost against Tiago. It was a really good fight, but just Rockhold being out for so long and he's so like injury prone. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if this is gonna be a good thing for him or not.
I know what you mean. There's you almost feel like there's no guarantee he's even walking in healthy, huh? Even with the
Yeah,
layoff.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I was gonna what I was gonna tell you is that I'm gonna say that your choice of picking Jan is kind of bold, but I'm kind of siding with Jan too, and I think mostly for that reason too. The layoff, it's kind of hard to tell. The David Branch fight showed. I mean, he won that fight after a long layoff, but Jan Blankovic might be a better fighter than David Branch, and I like David Branch, and I think he is a good fighter, but he's really tricky. He's really tricky, and he's not at all physical, which you think would be probably a detriment to him, and maybe it is, but it seems like Rockhold struggles with smarter fighters, and I think Blankovic is a smart fighter. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Blankovic, maybe to win a decision. Moving on though, this is basically what we all came for. Honestly, I honestly think I'm more excited for this fight than anything else on this card. Jorge Masvidal and Ben Askren. And yes, white people, it is Jorge. If I see any of you motherfuckers calling him George again, even my lady today, she said Jorge, and then immediately said George afterwards, and I barely corrected her. I'm like, it's Jorge, Jorge.
I think Yoel calls him George.
Oh God. Well, he's Cuban. It's okay. He calls him Joel, so
Yeah.
whatever. They can do whatever they want. I don't care.
Yeah, Yoel can call him whatever the fuck he wants. I ain't fucking with that dude.
I I even had to send out a tweet earlier because he sent a. I think it was after that jiu-jitsu match. It was a Showtime, right? That Masvidal did.
Yeah.
I think it was after that match, and they asked him about, what fight you got coming up? What are you gonna do? And he's like, oh yeah, July 6th. I'm fighting this. He's a fucking dead man. Like he's gonna. He just said like this guy's fucking done. He's dead. Like if you want to watch some violence, tune in on July 6th. So, and I saw that, and I tweeted like, let's go Jorge, and I wrote Jorge because white people don't get it.
George.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. I was still on the fence about this, even though I'm like a huge Jorge fan.
Really, you're gonna try and be rational about it. You're not trying to mark out like me.
Well, I have him as my pick for sure, but yeah, it'll be badass if it's a quick finish and he can do it for Robbie. get that win back for Robbie too.
Man, the on the embedded, I was talking about it earlier. Of course, Ashman comes out, and I was so surprised. He was wearing shoes, like actual tennis shoes.
What?
I know. I
He's
didn't even
gonna
know he
lose.
owed any.
He's gonna lose.
Well, I think he was going to like the performance center to like the weigh-ins. You know what I mean? Like he was doing some of. I think he actually probably needed them,
Oh, okay.
but he was still wearing like those stoner cargo shorts and shit.
Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
Van Askren is. Oh my god.
He doesn't grow up at all.
Yet he's so accomplished. Well,
Yep.
I find it funny that the shit that he's been saying is like it's all expected, but I find it funny that he's like, oh, he can't even like see me, like he's so emotional that he thinks he can't handle seeing me, and it's like I knew what Jorge was gonna say before he even said it because I saw an interview with Okamoto and he was asking him, well, where you been? What's been going on? I think people thought he's playing like a Nick Diaz, just like I don't want to deal with this shit, but he was like, man, I want to fight. I'm training to fight. All this media shit, like, fuck you guys, you know? Like, it's cool on fight week. That's my job. But I don't need to be dealing with you guys before that. Come fight week, I'll do everything I'm asked. But before that, I want to train and I want to fuck this dude up. And then he said, I saw this thing this morning. They said he wants to do it for his dad. I guess his dad wants him to fuck him up even more than he does. He's like, yeah, my dad's even more hardcore than me, believe it or not. So yeah, I'm trying to. He said, I want you to break his face, and that's what I want to do.
Holy shit, man. So
Yeah,
gangster. Damn.
goddamn Cubans, man. You can't. They're violent people.
Right? Their whole family, like, beat that white boy's ass. Kill him.
Yeah, man. Don't play that shit.
Damn, dude. I can't. This is the fight that I'm most looking forward to. Out of
Yeah,
all the fights that
yeah.
I have lined up this weekend, like this is the one that I'm most looking forward to.
No, that's exactly what I said, and I was speaking for myself. But yeah, of course, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Violence, it's coming.
Well, it could also be a fucking hump fest.
Oh my god, I hope not.
Well,
But
as Jorge said, like Askren's happy to fucking put his crotch in my face, and if he put his face in my crotch, and if that's how he wants to win, cool. But I'm not gonna let him.
shit, man, dude. I bet Yoel's been working with Jorge on his wrestling, so
And if I'm Yoel too, I'd like. I mean, they're Cuban. I'm sure, especially given his background in the Cuban, Olympic trainings. Those motherfuckers are mean as hell. But if I was Jorge, I'd be telling him. But if you're all smart and he's the buddy, he'd be like, hey, you got to treat me like you did to those Olympians, like fucking get after it. Remember those days when you were literally hungry, when you were fighting for food. You know what I mean? And on a side note, I do want to say with Jorge seeing him and all this stuff in Fight Week, he is like my role model. I want to grow up to be like him one day because I swear to God, I wish I had long hair and could wear just those Hawaiian shirts all fucking day, man. I'd fucking do it. I'd fucking do it. I see him, I'm like, that guy's living the dream, man. I want to be that guy.
oh, with the ponytail and the beard. That's
Ponytail, beard, fucking those
yeah,
Miami Vice open t-shirt, open shirts that he never wears a shirt under. Yeah, I want to be that dude.
that's just funny. Miami Vice.
Yeah, they're like all pink and white and purple and blue and shit. I'm like, yeah, I want that shit.
That's so funny, dude. He has that sailor cap too, man. He's been wearing that
Oh, that's
around a
right.
lot too.
Yeah,
I crack up every time he wears that.
yeah. And then even his t-shirt that if he does not wearing that, he's wearing that Game Bred Fighter shirt with like the Street Fighter writing.
Yeah,
That's
that one's
just
cool.
dope. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want that one. Yeah. So Jorge, right, all the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I said I was on a podcast earlier this week on the martial arts chat. I think I said second round TKO. So that's what I'm hoping. That's what I think is gonna happen.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Devastating fashion.
And me, it's not even so much that I want Jorge to win. I just want Askren to lose, and I want Askren to experience that same thing that MVP experienced. So many people were on MVP's dick, and he gets knocked out. And people instantly started mocking him and getting off that train. That's exactly what I want to happen to Askren. It's not so much that I want Masvidal to win, even though I like him. It's like I want him to have just that humiliation of like, all your shit talking got you here, and now what?
Yeah, I get it.
Well, you still like him, so I don't know.
No,
You're
I
my
like Jorge
favorite.
better. God damn it. Against, yeah, these two guys, no, I'm always going to go with Jorge.
All right.
With his
Well,
luscious locks.
We'll be friends at least for right now until he loses, and then I'm gonna be pissed at you.
God, man. I
Yeah,
think I'll be upset. You know,
yeah,
the
I know.
one of those fights that like really hit you hard.
Yeah,
I think it would this would be one for me. Like,
yeah, I agree. I relate, but well, the fight that follows it, I think would be a decent palate cleanser. So we're gonna get into the co-main event: Holly Holm versus Amanda Nunes. For this is I think one of the biggest fights in women's history. I'm not saying this to hype it up. I'm not even saying this because I'm writing an article that I have yet to finish, but by the time you guys hear this, it will like 99% sure it will be out. So doing the breakdown, I'm kind of just gonna go over from what I saw. The more and more I saw, the less and less likely it looked Holly Holm's gonna win. I that was my hunch going into it, but looking at the tape and doing the study and all that, Holly Holm really has nothing for Nunes. There's certain X factors. Her coming off a layoff is maybe a good thing for her, given her age. Um, the fact that she hasn't taken a lot of damage as of late. Her being able to make weight easily, whereas sometimes seems like to have issues, especially coming up from featherweight. Who knows how that's gonna affect her? There's reasons to believe that Holly Holm could win, but given everything I've seen, given the practice, the chances of it is slim to none. Nunes is not just that she's a better grappler, a better striker. She hits harder. She's just so much more intelligent than Holly. I just think she's gonna outclass her. I may write differently in my article, but right now I'm feeling like a first round knockout. But if not first round, second for Nunes.
I'll be surprised if Holly did win. It would surprise me. Yeah, and maybe this fight would like hurt me too, but I have all the confidence in the world that Amanda's gonna put her away. There's no way that it's gonna go to decision. It's gonna be a quick one, I feel.
I don't want to count Holly out because she does surprise in both her wins and her losses. Like I remember leading up to the Ronda Rousey fight, I was like I kept an eye on Ronda and I was like I don't
Mm-hmm.
think she's focused. Like I think her mind is elsewhere, and I knew a big thing of it had to do with Travis Brown. I was like, she's getting pissed off at the media. She's like trying to hide shit, and she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to talk to you. I'm like that. This is not good. Meanwhile, Holly's just like ready. And then like the Cyborg fight, I didn't really think she would have gone 5 rounds with her, and she did. The Durand May fight, I thought she was gonna get I thought she was gonna get fucking run over, and a lot of people thought she won that fight. So she has an ability to surprise, but like I said, the Nunes' weight. There's several factors where I'm like, this is not impossible. It's just so unlikely.
Yeah, and she's just predictable. She needs to be
It,
quiet.
it's the Cyborg fight that really got me. I was watching some fights. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing some things here, and then I saw the Cyborg fight, Cyborg versus Holly, and the way that Cyborg was able to counter her so easily. And the thing with Cyborg is though I can tell that when she was throwing those punches, those counters, she was thinking about it, like she had that programmed in.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Nunes, I feel that Nunes is more of a natural striker. Is I think that if Holly Holm runs in on her, she's just gonna throw what she wants, and it's all gonna land, and it's all gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Nunes a lot. I really like Holly too, but I can't go against the odds. The odds are there for a reason, and they're all stacked up against Holly for good reason.
Right? I mean, she had a head KO against Ronda and Betch. Other than that, her wins are what? Decision. Yeah, she's gone the distance and like lost or whatever, but like she hasn't really done anything to impress me. I mean, maybe before the UFC, yeah, she was like killing bitches with fucking
Yeah,
head kicks or whatever, but now that you're here with the UFC, it's like, okay, what else do you got? What else you got?
yeah,
Just that head kick KO and that's it? You're predictable. The sounds you make, yeah, they already hear you coming. They already know what you're gonna do, what you're gonna throw. You make it obvious. You haven't changed a damn thing.
well, she did out grapple Megan Anderson. She did add that. No, no, honestly, she did. And like I know we think of Megan as like a terrible grappler, which she may be, but
Yeah.
she added that to her arsenal, which nobody saw coming. I thought that was going to be a kickboxing fight that Holly could win, and ended up being a grappling match that she dominated. But the thing with Nunes is I try to take that into account too, and it's like, well, Nunes has been taken down. She's kind of iffy on her grappling at times. But if she gets taken down, she's most likely going to get up. And in worst case scenario, she's going to stay down there, but she's going to submit her. So that's not easy pickings either.
Nope. So, yeah. I
What do
don't
you think? First, second, third?
know. I don't know. Shit. If it would be the first, I'll be dope, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the second round KO or something.
Man, if she's able to knock out Holly faster than Ronda and Cyborg, wouldn't that'd be some shit, man.
Yeah. But
I
Holly's
mean,
so tough, man.
Cyborg's clearly the best fighter of all anyone that she's fought. But yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah, Holly is so tough. The other thing that I will give Holly a chance with is I'm still not sure about Nunes' cardio. I'm way more sure about it than I was before, but Holly throws a lot, and yes, she misses a lot. But the point is that she doesn't get tired, and if she gets mentally you know annoyed with that, it may lead to Nunes kind of getting tired as well. So that may be an issue, but they're all little tiny minuscule facts in the larger picture. And the larger picture is Nunes is a better grappler, better striker. She hits harder and she's smarter than her. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool, man. Both got Nunes there. Main event time. John Jones versus Thiago Santos. Man, I've been talking about the embeddeds a lot, but yeah, it's weird. I've been seeing the embeddeds. I forget just how fucking big Thiago Santos is. I'm waiting for the weigh-in, man, because it's rare that you look at somebody fighting John Jones and you're impressed with them, because John Jones is usually one of the bigger guys in the sport, but especially in that division. But Thiago Santos is a gigantic man. I don't know how the fuck he made 185, man, but we were talking about marking out earlier, Reen. I know you still went with Masvidal, but are you going to mark out here? Are you going to go out with Santos? Going the whole Diesel Diva way?
Yeah. I will
Yeah.
still ride with Santos. I mean, this is gonna be a tough task for him. Tough task, but he's so powerful. As long as he can just get in the inside and just start throwing bombs, then I think he has a chance.
You think he can land on Jones
Yeah,
significantly?
yeah. That guy, he's so scary, man.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
like a Francis. He's like a Francis Ngannou. Like if you give him some wiggle room there, once he starts landing, then I think it's all over, man.
Yeah, if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile kind of dude.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
scary as fuck, dude. I mean, he was patient with that Yam fight. He didn't go like all out. He's actually like really like strategic with that fight. So I wonder if he's gonna be like that with Jones. But if you wait too much with Jones, like he'll start reading you and he'll figure you out. That's the
Yeah.
most like brilliant thing about Jones. Like he understands how it all works.
Mhm.
He's a fucking amazing fighter. I'm just gonna go with Santos, man.
Nice, nice.
I mean,
And then,
I love Jones though. Don't get me wrong; he's a fucking asshole. He was one of my favorites.
yeah, I get you. I
Yeah,
get you. Um, the thing I'm just gonna repeat what I said in the previous podcast, because I haven't seen other things to discredit it. I was really, really impressed with Santos in the Blankovic fight. His ability to counter was something I never expected, and it could be a factor here. But the thing is, John Jones doesn't make stupid mistakes, and he doesn't rush in like that. So, and if it was any other fighter, I'd probably pick Santos, because if you have that counter, that means you might always have it, and you can always catch somebody with it. But it's very unlikely he'll catch Jones with it. And when he's like marauding, I think he'll have a better chance of like going forward and just fucking brawling his way in, to actually catch him. But John Jones has shown a spectacular chin as well, so I think if anyone can take his punches, it might be him. It's just I hope it's a fun fight. I hope it's an exciting fight. I hope it goes 5 rounds and maybe get a split decision or a 3-2 scorecard type of thing. But he's got a tall task ahead of him. And the other thing is I haven't seen Thiago Santos go 5 rounds. I don't know if he's fit for it. So much like the Nunes fight, I would like to pick Holly in that fight, and I'd like to pick Santos here, but I'm just gonna try and be reasonable. I'll stick with Masvidal for the mark ass pick of the week, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Jones here. But I do wish and hope that Santos wins.
yeah. Whatever happens, I'll be satisfied with it.
And it makes sense that I found out. I think it was after the Blankovic fight. You know that he was like a paratrooper in the Brazilian military.
Yeah, I saw all that. Fucking, he's badass, man. I
It
did
makes
not
sense.
know.
It makes sense why he's so fucking crazy. You know, what I mean, when you jump out of planes and shit, like, there's not much else that's scarier in this world. So
Yeah.
it makes sense why he throws himself in the fire like that. But that does it for the preview for this week's card. So let's get into some headlines. And we'll start with John Lineker. He's been cut, folks. I don't understand. Well, I do understand how or why, but Green, what were your thoughts on this when you heard it?
That's such bullshit, man. Why? Like, because he was bitching and complaining?
That's something that makes most sense. That's the most logical answer.
Like, he's been such a vet, man. He's been fighting with them for so long, and it's not like he was doing bad.
If I worked for the UFC, the minute I heard that news, I'd go straight into like Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby, Dana's office. I'd be like, "Hey, look, come here, look at this." I just pull out my phone and just show all the gifs and the replays of the Francisco Rivera fight, the Rob Font fight, the just the crazy wars he's been in. It's like, yeah, you should let that guy go, you dumb motherfuckers.
It's so insane because he's a fan favorite, so I don't understand.
Like especially at bantamweight, name someone who was so beloved. Like I know TJ had some fans. Ugh, that's weird. But like Dominic Cruz has some fans, but he doesn't really fight. Cody kind of has some fans, but he's not been looking good. But talk about guys with like real fan support behind them. It's kind of hard to think about other than those guys and other than Lineker. Lineker's the one guy that like everybody got excited for. Peter Yan's kind of getting that right now, but he's an up and comer. But Lineker, yeah, he's been a faithful one as far as like the crazy hardcores.
I don't get it. I wonder if it had something to do with him bitching and then just like the bottom line, money.
It could be that this he didn't look good in the Sanhagen fight. Well, okay, not that he didn't look good. It just I guess it was just kind of surprising. But it was just weird because he was supposed to fight Rob Font last week, and he got or the week of the last week or the week before that. But he got pulled because of a cut. Like, hey, it happens, man. It's not like he didn't make weight, which we all know he's not good at making weight. It's not like he went to the hospital because he fucking didn't take care of himself or something like that. He got cut. It happens. It's weird freak accidents, and I guess he just said the wrong thing. I mean, it just reminds me a lot of. It's in the same line of like when they let go of Duran, a Stitch. Remember the cut man,
Oh
Jacob
yeah.
Stitch Duran. Because all he said is like, I just don't think the Reebok deal is that good. That's literally all he said. People were saying fuck this deal and fuck the UFC. He's literally insulting them. This guy just said, yeah, I don't know about this deal. It just doesn't seem like it's that great. That's all he said. And with Lineker, he's just like, yeah, dude, I want to fight. Like, like let me fight. And that's what he got for it, man.
That sucks. So I wonder where he's gonna land. Like I heard or I saw a tweet about Campbell saying something. Campbell from Combate.
That'd be fun because there's so many brawlers in Combate that, yeah, that'd be crazy.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll take care of him. And then even if he landed in Bellator,
Bellator, Caldwell, well,
yeah,
he's, not champion. Well, the one that everyone seemed to go with, especially like the hardcore, like the Kaposa type, was Horiguchi.
yeah. So that'll be fun. But yeah, it just sucks. Like we have no real answers on why he was cut.
I hope he become. I mean, he already has that backing behind him, but I hope he becomes like that. Who was the guy? I guess you could put Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, in that. They were outside of the UFC, but everyone was like, man, these are some of the best and most exciting fighters outside of the UFC. Like you gotta, we gotta try and get these guys on here. Like I hope he gets that backing where the support makes him think twice about it.
I hope so too. So yeah, I'll be watching that, seeing what happens with him.
Yeah, unfortunate news, but hopefully it means that better things are coming along.
Yep.
Another news and not so good news. Really weird, kind of shady news. It was announced by Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships president, someone in the company. It was announced that their buys for the Lobov Malignaggi fight are looking real good, and that it may has been around 200,000, which is double what the recent UFCs have been doing, which really worries me that people actually paid money for this because I know a fuckload of people streamed it. I didn't think people were actually paying for this. But Reed and I were speculating a few weeks ago that there was a word that he'd been paid 7 figures, and it's no surprise that we don't know what the undercard fighters are getting paid, but it's probably next to nothing. But it seems like we're in the spot now where they actually may be able to pay Malignaggi somewhere around that range, but it may be at the expense of other fighters.
Dang, that's crazy, man. I'm surprised. 200,000 buys?
Or you know what? Like I remember when Bellator did its first pay per view. I believe it was Rampage and King Mo. It was a
Mm-hmm.
fight that it was a card that was supposed to be real good, but then it got like fucked up with injuries. That one did like 100,000, and people were really surprised. And then it turns out it's like, well, it's like a novelty factor. This is the first pay per view. People get kind of like, oh, well, let's see what they can do. Bellator hasn't been good on pay per view since then, but it was like since it was that first one, people kind of got excited for it. So I wonder with bare knuckle, it wasn't their first event, but it was the first event between a relatively well-known UFC fighter and a relatively well-known boxer. So it's kind of like the James Toney Randy Couture thing again, the Conor McGregor Mayweather thing again, although to a way lesser extent. But if there's that kind of attention, obviously they've shown it for other fights. It was probably gonna manifest itself here as well.
That's nuts, man. I mean, good for them, I guess, but yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to recreate that again.
Yeah, it's the next fight is I believe I heard it was Lobov and Leonard Garcia, which is nuts. That's a fight I actually want to see because it's just gonna be mayhem. I think it's just gonna be good old fashioned fun. But you know these are all pay per views. Like they got to keep afloat, and that's not an easy thing when all you're offering is pay per views.
Right.
And then another thing I mean, I know MMA fans aren't this noble, I guess, but it seems like in one of their following cards, I think it's that same card with Garcia and Lobov, Alexander Emelianenko is going to fight. And if you guys don't know about Alexander Emelianenko, he went to jail for rape. So, yeah, they're getting a rapist on the card. Who I don't know who he's going to fight, but I'm sure there's some crazy assholes out there that want to see it.
God damn it.
So, I mean, I don't wish anything bad for anybody. If they made money, that's good. I hope the fighters make more money as well. But given the history of combat sports and prize fighting, that seems very unlikely. And
Yeah.
if they're going to continue in states like Louisiana, Florida, these states that are kind of shady to begin with, if they go to if they come to like a California, New York, New Jersey, something like that, they're probably going to go to like Indian casinos. So none of it's promising. But
Damn, dude, that sucks. Yeah, they probably did some shady shit. Like nobody got paid except for Polly.
yeah, and then I'm not gonna try and conflate the two because they're different people, different entities. But remember, there was that one that Boss Rutan was associated with. I think it was Johnny Hendricks and that Dakota Cochran. They were in another bare knuckle fighting league, and they basically ran off with the money, and like none of the fighters got paid, or like most of the fighters didn't get paid.
Yeah, even
So
up until recently, they were still going back and forth on Twitter.
yeah, yeah, Boss Rutan's caught a lot of shit from him, man. Like lately, you don't see him as much, and I think it's because of this. It's like I think he's still it's plaguing him.
Yeah, people believe that he knew.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But it's like that's out there, man. You can't escape it.
No. Mm-mm.
Sucks,
So, God, that sucks, man.
sucks. Yeah. And our last bit of headlines is a matchup, which will lead us into our other matchups, our matchup segment. But big news: Joanna Jędrzejczyk's gonna fight Michelle Waterson. So I know Reen, I know you're happy with this one. What did you think?
I like it. I like this matchup. And it's kind of interesting that they're going to do it in San Francisco.
That was my first thought. I don't think the UFC's ever gone to San Francisco. I know they've gone to Oakland. I know
Mm.
they've been to Sacramento. I know they've been to San Jose, but I don't even know if because it's weird with San Francisco because they don't have a basketball or a hockey team. They obviously the Golden State Warriors is kind of what they adopt, but that's from Oakland. The Oracle Arena's in Oakland.
Yeah, I think it's because of that new Chase Center in San Francisco. So they're, using that venue. And
Oh, that's new.
yeah,
Is it brand new or is it like remodeled? Like it had been closed for years
I
before?
think it's a brand new one because I think Metallica already played there or they're about to play there again. It's like a big
Oh,
deal. Yeah.
and it's like an arena, like an actual like
Yeah.
concert sports arena type deal.
Yep. So it's supposed to
Oh,
be a big deal. So
nice,
yeah, I thought that was cool. I'm like, word, San Francisco's got a fight, an
nice.
actual combat sports fight. Like what?
Well, you missed you know you're not going to the Sacramento card, but shit, maybe you'll make it to this one. Especially
I
if there's a
know,
fight that intrigues you, you know.
right? Seriously.
This is what October.
October 12th or something? I have to check my schedule, but that would
Oh,
be kind of cool.
you know what, Rain? I'm saying this on air right now, but I might have to clear my schedule out. I love San Francisco, and I don't want to travel for fights, but San Francisco's a city that I enjoy enough where something should happen with this fight, I can at least enjoy the city. So
Yep.
I might have to book a flight for my first time.
Right?
I
It's in
might
the
actually have
city.
to go. Yeah, I might actually have to go to this one.
Yep.
I actually know the city, I actually enjoy it, so well, I relatively know it. So yeah, I might. This might be a trip going up there. So
Word.
yeah, if and I hope I see you. That'll be nice if we can actually go to this one. Maybe not 241 didn't come to fruition, but maybe this one.
Yeah, this one will be tight. Dude, I gotta
Yeah.
check my schedule though. But yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll work it out. But yeah, I'm seriously. I'm looking at it now. I might have to do it.
Yep.
But
Fuck.
yo, I mean, I've said my thoughts on this before, and I kind of sticking with it. I don't like it as much. I like it as far as like it should be a good fight. I don't like the consequences. Given that Andrade is fighting Zhang already, I really like that fight. So if this is what's gonna happen, I don't hate it. I just I like it more than I did intentionally because I wanted Zhang to be in that picture. I wanted Zhang to fight Joanna. But if she's getting the title fight, I guess this is what makes most sense. I still feel that if Joanna wins, I don't know what it does for her. All it is a win. It's just like a rebound fight. Honestly, no disrespect to Michelle, but
Hmm.
given the style matchup, it's like people are gonna expect her to win. Should
Yeah.
Michelle win, this is exactly what a tune-up fight is. Tune-up fight, one person's not expected to win. Should they win, it'll be monumental. Monumental. This will be kind of like Andy Ruiz, Joshua. That's what it was. It was a tune-up fight, and then it went wrong. That's exactly what will happen to Michelle wins. This is a tune-up fight that went wrong for Joanna.
I was surprised when I first got the notification. I'm like, oh yeah, they verbally agreed. I'm like, well, it's verbal. We'll see if it even like really comes together. And then like a couple hours later, it's like, yep, it's on. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, they really wanted to fill that one out and make it happen. So this is
Well,
cool.
this is scheduled to be the main event too. So do you think that? I mean, no disrespect to Joanna or Michelle. I think they're stars in their own right. But do you think this might have anything to do with San Francisco? I know there's a lot of Asians in San Francisco. You know, the UFC tries to do a thing of like local, because Michelle's not from there. Neither is Joanna. You know, so I wonder if it's like there's an Asian fighter in the main event. This is like a way to kind of get some of the locals to get in there. You know what I mean?
It's possible. There's such a mix of people in San Francisco
I,
too.
I'm I'm saying from what I've seen, I see a lot of Asians, and then
Yeah,
especially obviously Chinatown. You know, Chinatown there is like historic.
yeah.
Yeah,
So you just never know, man. Yeah, they might get all the Thai people out,
yeah,
street food vendors like coming out. We might have all of them out there too. Shit.
yeah. That's the one thing I still want to experience in San Francisco because San Francisco for me is in basically Golden Gate Bridge, Lombard Street, and then a few of the beaches around there. You know, Fisherman's Wharf, which I didn't enjoy as much. But yeah, I want to go to the actual city. Like I went driving across downtown, but I didn't actually explore any of it. So yeah, that's the reason I'm kind of I might want to actually do this. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
you gotta get out. Not don't hang out at the touristy spots. You gotta go
Yeah, I
get
know
out of
you know.
there. Yeah, get out of the area and go to all the little, spots where all the Asians are.
Well, I did go to the Mexican area. I did do that. That was interesting. It reminded me a lot of here back home here in LA. So that was interesting. But yeah, whether you come with or not, I know you'll be a good guide.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. So that does it for headlines. So let's get into some more matchups. Let's get into the matchup segment. And first up, we got a co-main event for UFC I was about to say Paraguay. It was Uruguay. UFC Uruguay, August 10th on ESPN Plus. That is the main event of Shevchenko and Carmouche. The co-main event just got scheduled, and it's gonna be Mike Perry versus Vicente Luque. So what's your thoughts on this one, Rain?
I liked it, but then I thought, well, wait, does this really make sense for Vicente?
It does and it doesn't because Luque is technically he's not that high up in the rankings, and Perry I believe is above him. But it's just weird because Perry came off of a loss, and Luque's on a what 5-6 fight knockout finish streak. You know, like he's
Yeah.
running so hot, and Perry's kind of been kind of like lukewarm, not been
Yeah.
looking great.
Well, I thought I'll look at it again, but I didn't think Mike Perry was ranked at all.
I'm
But
sure he's in the top, at least in the top like 12. Well,
no,
yeah.
he's not ranked.
Oh damn.
No,
Yeah, he
so
did
that's
miss the
why I was like,
Cowboy. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah, that's why I was like, why does this doesn't make sense? He wants to move up. Vicente wants to move up in the ranks, not possibly lose this fight and not be ranked anymore.
Well,
So
his last fight, Luke's last fight was against Derek Krantz, but he was supposed to fight Neil Magny. Had they
right,
rescheduled that fight, it would have made sense. But I want to say, if I recall correctly, that Neil Magny was taken out because of a drug thing.
right.
So if they're still investigating, if he's doing the 6 month suspension, I mean that might not give him time. But
Hmm.
and I just love Luke, man. I mean it's good he's a co-main event. I believe he speaks Spanish as well. Obviously he's Brazilian, so he's right next door. But he
Yeah.
speaks Spanish as well. He can win the crowd over. It's the co-main. Mike Perry, that's just an action fight. It's just ridiculous violence. So I know that's why they booked it. He speaks Spanish. It's an action fight. Good co-main. But it's just who it was against was what kind of struck me as weird.
I wonder if Santiago Ponzinibbio wasn't available because that would have made sense too. Because it looks like everybody on the top 15 rankings has already fought somebody or scheduled to fight somebody. So everybody's like busy.
When's the last time I know Ponzinibbio was Neil Magny his last fight in
Um,
Argentina? That was in November. It's been what 6-7 months,
yeah, it's possible. I have to like look at it again, but
and I
yeah.
don't think he's been scheduled for anything either. So yeah, you're right. That would have been the fight.
Oh
Two
yeah,
Spanish speakers that fucking bang.
yeah. That was the last fight he had was against Magny.
Damn.
Yeah. So it doesn't really make sense. I mean, it's a fun fight, I guess, but
Yeah.
yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. So
We're gonna enjoy the shit out of it though. I know this is
yeah.
one of those that talk all the shit you want. When it comes on, you're not gonna move.
Nah, probably be a banger for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
I think so. And one more for the matchups. Show favorite Andrea KGB Lee. She's making a quick turnaround. She's gonna fight in September. She's gonna fight Joanne Calderwood, JoJo, in Abu Dhabi. Um, kind of. I like the fight. I guess it's a little interesting because JoJo just lost. Step up for KGB for sure. It's just I don't know. I guess I didn't expect him to be on this card exactly.
Dang, yeah. 3 months to prepare for this one, and then it's out of the country for
Well,
both.
2 months as of
Is it
now.
2 months?
Since
Oh yeah, because it's July.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So
It's
damn man.
a long flight. One thing you got to take in account too is I remember last time they went to Abu Dhabi there was like an open air arena, and it gets ungodly hot out there. So I wonder if the climate's going to be an issue because I remember when they first went, a lot of fighters were saying like fighters that we knew were like well conditioned fighters were getting tired, and it's like what's going on? It's like well, it's fucking hot. People are sweating their fucking asses off.
Ugh.
So that's terrible. So I wonder if that might play a factor. Even weirder for JoJo. Actually, this might be good for KGB because she's from the South. She's from Louisiana. I know how I can get over there. But JoJo's from Scotland. They don't they don't really have extreme heat over there.
That's
So
crazy to me. Like, just where they're fighting, I was surprised to even see this fight.
yep, yep. Yeah, well, I think we'll just leave that at there because yeah, let's just say I'll go on the limb here and say if something happens and they're not all of a sudden they're not scheduled to fight there, I wouldn't be surprised because of
Right.
the location. But
I mean,
hey,
just tattoos alone, it's like, and,
true.
and then I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Cover
Yep.
up, dude. Cover up.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Hopefully this is an actual show of progression and that it's not going to be an issue coming down the line. But excellent fight, excellent fight. I'm happy to see it, and of course KGB all the way. So yeah, should be a good fight. So that's gonna do it for the MMA stuff. Let's get straight into our new segment. And the news story is here we go. Let's go with the actual headline. Yes, you have to pay when you eat half a cake at Walmart. So the story is this lady doesn't say a name, age, description, nothing, because I guess she didn't go to jail or nothing. But this crazy bitch ate half of a cake. I want to know what kind of cake, because there's different sizes of cakes. But she ate half a cake, went to the counter, and she wanted to pay half price because she was saying that she was gonna pay for half the cake, so she's gonna pay half price. And yeah, they straightened her ass out quick. She ended up paying the full amount, and then she got banned. But given that it's Fourth of July, I wanted to honor the country by showing some of the fine citizens of this fine ass country.
Oh, should I say it?
Go ahead.
Was she white?
That was my first thought. That was my girlfriend's first thought when I read this morning. And there's nothing to confirm nor deny it, so I don't know. I don't know.
That's all I pictured when I first read it. I'm like, was she white? Like, come
Texas,
on, man.
Texas, I know Texas seems like some crazy redneck state and shit, but there's a lot of minorities there. Especially a place like Houston or something. I know there's Vietnamese, Mexicans, blacks. There's fucking everything down there. So this is I believe it's Wichita Falls, which I've never heard of. I thought that was a spot in Kansas, but I guess not. But yeah, Wichita Falls police were called to Walmart after the woman refused to pay for the missing cake, which was not missing. It was just in her stomach. eventually, eventually she was forced to pay and was banned from that Walmart. And then this is the part that really pissed me off, like again, because of to highlight some of the companies in this country. It's not like Walmart needs the money, though as of 2017, Walmart takes shoplifting costs out of employees' bonuses.
That's so crazy, man.
But at least, lady, you have a better story. At least, lady, you have a better story where the rest of us, oh no, of where the rest of the cake went.
I, I'm just still shaking my head. Like, I'm surprised she didn't grab like a carton of milk along with that too, because she ate half a fucking cake, man.
And then try to pay for only half of the milk carton.
Yeah, like, won't you get thirsty too?
Yeah.
Like, she really walked around and ate a half a cake, and she was cool. She didn't have to drink nothing, and then she tried to walk out without paying for it either. All right, man. Like, only in fucking Walmart.
Only in Texas, I'll say.
Jesus, man.
Specifically a Texas Walmart.
It's just so crazy that you picked this one too, because like we were talking about this off air. Like, there's videos on Twitter going around of people like going into the freezer and random stores and pulling out ice cream and licking the top.
Yeah, I saw like a little headline of it, but I didn't click on it. I wasn't aware of this. But you told me, you explained it to me, and man, it's grotesque. It's people need to get a fucking life, man. And I had asked you from what you had seen, like, is it just kids? Because I could see little fucking punks doing this shit. But you said that it seems like it's a lot of adults as well.
Yeah, they think it's funny and it's becoming a trend. Fucking some dude like I think he was trans because he looked like a girl at the same time too. Wearing like girly clothes.
Yeah, yeah.
He took a bottle mouthwash and gargled his mouth and rinsed his mouth off and like just spit whatever he had in back into the bottle and like put it back on the shelf. Like, the fuck is going on?
I mean, I want to assume, like, okay, if that's the case, best case scenario, I want to say that like, that was like a homeless dude or homeless person. I don't want to assume anything, but he really wanted to rinse his mouth out and he didn't want to spit on the floor, so he put it back in. But it's like, come on, I don't always feel better if he stole it. Just steal
Yeah.
it, because he obviously is no longer good and you're gonna harm somebody else. So it's like just take it and take your chances, because obviously this is illegal as well. And I don't want to put it in the same category because it was an atrocious thing what happened. But this is honestly reminding me of what you're talking about right now. This is reminding me a lot of like the knockout game. Remember that shit a few years back?
Oh God, yeah.
Because it's like, what are you proving? You're just taking out unsuspecting innocent people, and it's like, I know that this isn't like necessarily hurting them, like giving them concussions and shit the way that that was, but same time, it's like you don't know what kind of diseases people have. Like if I spit on you, that's illegal and obviously extremely disrespectful. But licking stuff and putting mouthwash back, like if you indulge that, especially if there's something wrong with me, if I have diseases or something like that, like you get really sick, maybe even die. You never know. So this is really heinous. And you told me that one of the girls that did that they're looking for her, that she may do 20 years, right?
Yeah, I guess that happened in Texas, and they don't fuck around in Texas, so
Mm-mm.
she faces up to 20 years in prison for doing that. She thought that was fucking cute and funny. So I hope she gets something because it's bullshit. Like now I'm thinking like I don't know if I can buy shit at the store anymore. I have to fucking buy everything organic. Like, if it's not sealed, I don't want to buy it. Like I think that's the direction that maybe some of these, brands will have to go with now. Like everything has to be sealed now because of shit like this.
Yeah, it's awful. Well, now, I mean, I've always taken it seriously, but now when you see shit like this, it really puts that thing that if the seal is broken, don't buy type thing.
Yeah, for real. So it's just crazy how.
People are animals.
Yeah.
Be, on this Fourth of July weekend, people, when you're celebrating your freedom and shit, don't be an asshole. Just
I know.
be happy with what you got, and that's
Right?
that.
This is how you celebrate your freedom.
Dude, be like Trump. Just go out and hug a flag, and just take a picture of that shit and post
Oh,
that up on the wall or something.
oh, speaking of Trump, did his parade get rained on
I haven't
today?
seen it. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't
Okay.
care. I'll probably read a headline tomorrow morning. I'll be like, what the fuck, man? But no, I saw that just like yesterday, a day or two ago. I
Yeah.
was like, really? We're really doing this? Okay.
Yeah. The amount of money spent on this parade.
But let me ask you something, Rain. If you told your son, your 6-year-old son, hey, let's go on a parade, would he be excited?
Maybe.
The fact that you even say maybe is like, at least be like, all right, well, kids will enjoy it. Even with your own son, you have doubts.
Yeah, maybe. Because what is he going to do? Just sit there and watch people
What?
march? Right? There's no interaction. He wants to play and do stuff, so.
To this day, I still don't get like the Macy's Day Parade, all those New Year parade, all that shit. I don't get any of it, man. So
I
fucking
know.
Trump. I mean, it's all the whole patriotism, nationalism bullshit. But yeah, I don't. And for you guys listening out there, if you support Trump, go ahead. I don't really care. But I don't understand how you can support this shit. It's just such nonsense. It
Yeah.
it doesn't make any fucking sense. But
And
that's
then
just
just
me.
the money, where they got the money from.
Oh, the parks. Yeah, the national. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that pissed me off. Yeah, don't remind me of that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the reason I read about it. Yeah, that's
I'm
not
like,
good.
why don't you fucking pay for the fucking thing, man? Out of your pocket. Like, this is the parade that you want.
Like you did for the McDonald's for those college players.
Right, man. It's like, what the fuck? Why? I mean, parks and recs and everything, like, that's things that we enjoy. I mean, I took my son to a nearby park, not too long ago. Yeah, we all get to enjoy it, but this, like, really, especially when you have the money.
Watch, you took money out. People are gonna start shitting in the woods again, like they did a few months ago. Watch, and it
just,
caused pandemonium.
just get that tent.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
tent that you could just like.
Oh, those Russian tents. Those
No, no,
like,
it was wrong on Twitter. It's like a
yeah,
personal tent, and like you could just
just
pop a
like
squat.
throw it up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I seen it.
okay, yeah, yeah, that one.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, people are getting creative. That should have probably been tweet of the week, but I didn't bother this time. So sorry to you guys out there. I'll be more on it next week. It's Fourth of July, and I'm trying to enjoy myself.
This shit, man, the one with the hand holding through the tent too. I didn't understand that one. Like that person needed to hold somebody's hand while taking a shit. Like
Was he like disabled?
I don't
Was he,
know.
like, oh, okay.
I don't know. Like he needed like support to push whatever out. I don't get
Oh,
it.
Jesus.
I'm like, this is a horrible commercial.
Jesus.
Oh
Well,
god,
I hope it was an American that created that. Just
white
to,
people.
yeah. Well, you never know. I bet you that's from like a third world country, man. That's probably like a fucking, some dude that lived out in the woods in fucking, you know, Czech Republic or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's crazy people everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Happy 4th.
Yeah, happy 4th, guys. Stay safe. If you're in SoCal, I hope the earthquake didn't get you too hard, and I hope you, more than anything, do not blow your goddamn fingers off. You need those for
Oh,
work,
God.
to eat, to pleasure yourself. Just don't, those things are valuable. Don't be stupid. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves, guys. Enjoy the fights, and we'll catch you all next week.
See ya.